welcome to episode 3 of the Pippin Pod. My name is Gabriella Fine, and I am here with my wonderful co host, Jarell Marquez.
Hello, and today we are accompanied by our stage manager, Gustavo. Say hi.
Hey everyone.
Gustavo, we have a few questions, but I'm just going to start off. And I was wondering if you could talk to us about some of your responsibilities and what exactly does stage managing entail?
Yeah. So stage managers, you can ask 50 stage managers, they'll give you a different definition. But we're pretty much like the communication logistics hub for the designers, for the cast members, for the crew members, for all the different people who work for a production. So we have two phases. We have our rehearsal phase where we're more of like a support. We fill out rehearsal reports, daily calls so that the designers know what's happening in the rehearsal room so they don't have to be there. We take attendance, we tape spaces for the stage so we can simulate the stage. We handle prop tracking, which is when people it's when we simulate props so that the actors can get a feel for what they're going to have on stage. And then when we move out of rehearsal, we go into tech rehearsals and performances, which is where we kind of take a control of the show. So the director is kind of sitting back more, and we're the ones who are queuing different tech departments. We make sure that everything's set. We make sure that everyone's on the same page in terms of the show. And then when it's actually showtime, um, we work. We start queuing different people. We make sure that um, everyone's following the script and everyone knows when they're supposed to go. So nothing. The common phrase is nothing happens on the stage if the stage manager doesn't say go. So that's where we take charge of the show.
Well, from what you just described, that is a lot. And with a lot of responsibility, there had to be a lot of training. I mean, what did you do to prepare to become a stage manager?
Yeah. So I didn't have a typical stage manager route of training. Usually what you do is you become an assistant stage manager or you get it and then you learn the ropes that way and then eventually you move up to stage managing. I kind of had a different route, so I've always been part of tech. And so I knew the different departments of tech, but I've never acted in a stage management role. My school didn't really have an official stage manager before I took the job. So I kind of just said, I want to be stage manager. And I joined my school's drama club, or I joined my school's tech crew and started that way. And I mean, I'm learning every day. Obviously, I think I'm never perfect. YouTube is a wonderful resource for anything stage management. There's a really great YouTube channel called Daily Call. Um, they post really great videos on different documentation, different responsibilities, and also Hope, which is our production manager. She's been a tremendous help in terms of making sure I'm accountable or I know of everything and making sure that I'm doing my different responsibilities correctly.
That sounds great. And I love YouTube. You can learn anything on YouTube, I'm sure of it. But you were talking about your past stage managing experiences. But how has stage managing been online? It's so different. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're obviously missing that person to person aspect that you get. You're missing those kind of in person relationships that you build with different people. The other big thing is dealing with Zoom, because I'm essentially running the Zoom, so I have to like do breakout rooms. I kind of have to become like a Zoom guru in that sense, and also communication is a big thing. Um, because you can't have those conversations in person, everything happens over email, or it either happens over email or like the director will text me something. Someone will message me on Instagram about something. So it's just taking all those different communication sources um, and disseminate or like compiling them and sending them out to the different departments that are necessary.
Wow, now that's some hard work. But Gustavo, what's the hardest aspect of stage managing?
Um, Definitely the um, like collection of information. You're getting info as a stage manager. Like I said, you're the communication hub, so you get information from the designers on what they're working on the cast members when they have like personal issues, from the creative team when they have creative decisions that they need to spread out. So you have to take all that information and you have to spread it to the different people that need it. Like if Ari makes a decision, Ari, our director, if he makes a decision during rehearsal, then that will affect, let's say, sound and lights. Then that's how you have to pick that information and be like, I have to send it to the lighting and sound designers to make sure that they know what's going on. So that's probably the hardest part, is just trying to take all that information you're getting and deciding where it goes and how to best deliver it. It's also designing the show for COVID. I think anyone in the team can tell you this is completely different than what we've experienced. And trying to change the way we do things, um, so that we can modify it for COVID, and making it more safe and responsible for everyone involved.
Sounds like a tough job, but I see you on emails. I know you're on top of it. So, um, now I was wondering how you discovered the free theater. How'd you hear about us?
Yeah, it's a pretty funny story. So um, like most of us did, I was scrolling through Instagram, just looking through my feed, and I found the In the Heights video, or promo for the In the Heights video. And I started watching it. I was like, wow, and I started exploring the page, and I was like, this is a really interesting organization. And coincidentally, a few days later, Ian texts me. Ian, one of our assistant directors, he texts me and asks, you have experience stage managing, right? Would you be open to stage managing for the free theater? I was like, sure. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. I mean, I love the cause. I love the goal of the free theater, and I kind of missed stage managing, like from being in person in school. So I was like, I jumped at the opportunity. I was CC'd on an email with Hope. She listed out, she wanted like my experience, and I just dove headfirst in everything free theater.
Yeah, I remember like Ian and I talking about it because like we both knew you through mutual friends and connections, and we were like, Gustavo would be great. But have you always been a part of tech? I know you and your family are connected to theater, like very much so. So were you always a part of tech? Were you originally an actor? Like, what else did you do?
Um, so I will say I did do a few productions when I was younger, like very early grade school stuff. And in fourth and fifth grade, I did, I think, a production of Cats and a production of Beauty and the Beast. So I had the cat costume, I had the makeup, I had everything. And then when I joined middle school, I was I but I've always, like, when I joined middle school, I decided I kind of want to do tech. I kind of want to explore that realm. I felt like I was more interested in that. So I started out as backstage crew in sixth grade, and then I started moving around the different departments. So I started doing sound, I tried out lights, I tried out costumes for a little bit, building costumes. And so that's I started involving myself in all the different departments of tech, because I was really interested in what happened backstage rather than like actually performing. Because I don't think I could ever have the courage to go out and sing my heart out in front of in front of 500 people. But I definitely love like running the sound system, or like moving set pieces and handling all that different technical aspects.
Now, in all honesty, I want to hear about more about cats. Um, the most cursed show. I think
Definitely.
most would agree with
Hmm.
that statement. And you can tell me about that later. But now I have to ask you, what excites you most about managing this production of Pippin?
Um, I'd say the people and how enthusiastic everyone is. Everyone's really enthusiastic about helping out in any way they can. Um, yeah, definitely the people, and they're so welcoming. Like, this is my first year being in the free theater. I've just been welcomed in open arms.
Let me tell you, I mean, everyone that I've talked to, they love you, Gustavo. If anything, people have crushes on you in the free theater. Everyone is impressed by your work ethic and like what you do for us. I mean, all those Google spreadsheets, I could not even imagine.
Well, I did
But
have a lot of help. Hope did add me on a bunch of spreadsheets.
mhm.
So I just modified for them. But I'm glad that yeah, I really appreciate everyone in the free theater and how happy they are to have me.
Yeah, it's amazing how you can just jump in and fit right in. This is kind of an advertisement for a free theater because you could be like Gustavo.
Exactly.
But what advice would you give to future Gustavos, future stage managers for the free theater?
Um, Definitely relying on your team. I mean, everything I listed. I mean, I'm not gonna say I do it all. I definitely don't do it all, and I'm definitely not perfect. But I have two amazing assistant stage managers who aren't here, Danielle and Allison. Anytime I need help with anything, anytime I need to distribute tasks or delegate, they're always there, always enthusiastic to help out. Like I said before, Hope's been a great mentor. She's our stage management mentor and production manager, but she's been amazing in terms of I get advice on how to do this or how do I handle this situation. Um, and also just being kind and understanding with people. I think we all have that vision of our high school or middle school stage manager who's pulling their hair out and shouting at everyone to get in their places. Um, so that's just be kind and relatable because people will listen to you if you listen to them. I mean, it's such a cliche saying, but that's something that I really take to heart is just trying to be respectful when you're talking to people because sometimes you have to be that kind of strict person, but that doesn't mean you have to be mean or that doesn't mean you have to be um like rude about it. As long as you're respectful and as long as you listen to them and their needs, then they'll take what you say to heart and they'll act on it.
Those are such wise words. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Gustavo. It's been a true pleasure. And this is a reminder to all of our listeners to make sure that you're following at the Free Theater on Instagram for Pippin updates, content, and more.
And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next episode, April 12th.
I'm Gabriella,
And I'm Jarrell.
and
And
this
this has been
the
the Pippin
Pippin
Pod.
Pod.
Thanks, Gustavo.
Thanks
Yay.
for having me.
Some people long for freedom, some people long for fame. Some people like it simple, and we all need entertain. The people here are just like that. The people here, they know you keep it free and simple, and you've got to show to all of the people who don't know who or what to be. The answer is simple.